הדמוקרטיה בישראל מתחילה לדרדר. הוא מצב של אינדיבידואליזם ברמה הכי קיצונית שלו. ישראל חייבת להשתנות.
We weren't that optimistic. In Israel, the situation is that you're not optimistic about protests because you don't really believe that you can change anything.
אנחנו אוהבים את המדינה הזאת ואנחנו חייבים, אולי היא ויתרה עלינו ואנחנו לא ויתרנו עליה. אי אפשר לפספס את ההזדמנות הזאת.
נעמה קלה בול לי מה שרציתי להגיד עכשיו. אני שואלת השאלה לפי מה אתה מצביע. לפי מה אתה מצביע? יש לך דעה שהיא שמאלנית.
השירותים החברתיים שכולם אמורים ליהנות מהם, הם הולכים ומדרדרים, גם הבריאות, גם הרווחה, גם החינוך, ובראש ובראשונה דיור. זאת אומרת, מזה זה התחיל.
It's very hard to find a flat in Tel Aviv, and I'm looking for a house with a good friend of mine. And after seeing a house that had, where the shower was located just on top of the toilet, and there was no roof for 4,000 shekels a month, we walked on Rothschild Boulevard and we thought, oh my God, all the young people in this city just have to stop paying their rent and go to the street and say, we don't have money anymore, we can't live here.
כשהרעיון היה המקורי להקים פה אוהלים בסוף שדרות רוטשילד, בכיכר הבימה, ולמחות.
We expected something like, 50 people with tents, and there were hundreds, and the next day thousands.
התקשורת התחילה לסקר את זה בטירוף.
In a few days we could make it a symbol. And say that house is it's not just house, it's also your education system, it's also your health system, it's also your welfare system. And we started to talk about privatization, and we started to talk about workers' rights, and then everything just got together. In a week, the protest became from a protest about the price of rent to a protest about the future of this society.
You can't show my face because we're gonna do edgy action of paving a road by our feet.
People here are constantly afraid. In a democracy, your way to control the people is by keeping them in a certain pattern. I mean, it's a post-traumatic society. It's post-traumatic from the old past, people who came from Europe and from the Holocaust, and then the trauma of creating the state and the traumas from the conflict with the Arab world. You can't do anything about your right for housing and your right for health services or your right for education because we're constantly worried about those bigger issues.
I think the 10 protests were immature. I think that we have our priorities askew. I think our priorities are wrong here in the state of Israel.
אתה הולך ב2 בלילה ואתה רואה אותם כולם מפנטזים כמו איזה סוף שבוע על הכיפק.
When rockets are falling in southern Israel, people are marching about the high cost of living. Look, the cost of living is high wherever you go. Those same young people who are engaged and are passionate about this cause, they've grown indifferent when it comes to the violence against the state of Israel.
Israel is in a very dark tunnel, and you have a social protest coming up which can't even talk about the occupation. It can't discuss the elephant in the room, even though everybody knows that's where all the money is hemorrhaging.
We were completely separating from two things because we know that if we go to the political court, then there is going to be a mess, Then right away there will be two sides, right and left.
We have a conspiracy of silence here, where the major issues aren't being addressed, where we somehow fudge it through so that there isn't any vision for 20 years' time, 40 years' time. We're busy dealing with what's going on here, and the system is such that there's always more than enough going on. You'll go crazy trying to cope on a daily basis with the major issues happening.
The way to maintain your power is by keeping your citizens divided. When you have more and more gaps between those groups, they will never be able to be connected, and the people in power will remain in power. And that's why we have a conflict.
The problem of the Israelis in general is the fact that their government only think of winning the elections, and they're not thinking of long-term Israel.
I think there's a big link between our security situation and our society situation. I believe we won't be able to solve the situation that we have with the neighboring people if we won't solve our issues here.
I think settlers as a group are victims of their own government. I think the government is using them. They are interested in Palestinians attacking settlers and settlers attacking Palestinians because this is what they survive on. Fear. I don't think that anybody wants to kill 6-7 million Israelis. Nobody wants to do that. So everybody accepts the idea that Israel is here to stay, except of the Israelis.
לי ברמה האישית, אחרי הרבה מאוד שנים של אפתיות ושל בועתיות, זו פעם ראשונה שאני מרגישה המון אחריות. סוף סוף, הפעם הראשונה בחיים שלי, דואגת גם לעתיד של הילדים שלי ולעתיד של המדינה הזאת.
Once you're in a protest that is so difficult to hold, I think what Netanyahu wanted was for us to lose our momentum in a way.
We have this poster that says they understand only numbers, and it's so true, they understand only numbers, and that's why it's so important that so many people will arrive to this demonstration on Saturday. אני חושבת שהיום יהיה המבחן. היום יהיה המבחן. We just arrived to Habima Square. Now let's see the numbers. Maybe they have numbers already. I think it's too early. They don't have them yet. Wait.
These protesters have to decide what is more important for them. To have more people in the street or to have justice really.
Seen such thing before in my life. One of 14 people is out on the street right now. And to think that all these people stand together side by side and demand one thing. So many people were given their hope back. They're hoping that this is going to make it. We're going to make it together.
We are playing with very high stakes. Here it's almost like being in the eye of the storm. But if you look at it rationally, for how much longer? It's not forever. Guys, wake up.
I think it's not a coincidence. Everything is happening now in this world at once. I think people are being used all over the world to maintain that system, the neoliberal system, where there is only a little bunch of people that's controlling absolutely everything. And it's just the beginning. But I think we saw the spark. We saw the first spark of a new society.
I am frightened. What if it doesn't work? What if, after all we've been through, this won't do? If that won't do, why would? And the other thing is, what if we're gonna make it? What if we're gonna be like a new society now?